Hello. It says, YouTube says that I am live right now, sitting out in the parking lot at the Cancer Care Center here in Spokane Valley, that where my wife's cancer team is. It's not been a bad day. She had tests starting at about 11:30, and then lab work, and then from there we met with the cancer doctor and one of her assistants. And then at this point, my wife is in having a Zometa infusion. The Zometa is strengthens the bones. The chemotherapy that she did is notorious for causing osteoporosis. My wife already had that, and so she has to take this for another couple of years, I think, to strengthen the bones. She should be done with it pretty soon. And so I'm out in the car right now, just kind of sitting here waiting on her. I wanted to come out, spend a little bit of time. My dog is here too. See Cooler Bear back there. So I wanted to see him. So since 2023, this has been a pretty common thing for me. Either sitting in the reception area or sitting in the car waiting for my wife while she's having the chemotherapy. I usually go in to the doctor visits with her to hear the doctor, just a second set of ears, kind of hear what's saying. Sometimes, I'll remember a question that my wife won't remember. And so, just kind of to do sort of things like that, just so we kind of have another set of ears and eyes. Anyway, I drive her to and from now, because we live in Republic and come to Spokane Valley to the doctor. We're talking about a 3-hour drive almost. And so, obviously we come together for that, to make those kind of trips. And over the course of this time, it's been an interesting, depressing. I'll say depressing. It's depressing. Observation, cancer. I kind of say it all the time. I hate cancer. It certainly changed our lives. And while our lives, we're happy, we're healthy for our age and doing well and so forth, you can't ever really get past the fact that this cancer is there and could come back any day. And especially that happens when we have to make our trips to the cancer checkups. The doctor did say today changed Anita from every 3 months to about every 6 months, which is I'm not really sure how that happened. When we first met this doctor a year ago, she said, let's just keep, because of the nature, the kind of cancer you had, let's just do every 3 months for the full 5 years. Let's just keep on top of it. But for whatever reason, she changed her mind this time and stretched it out to 6 months. My wife's glad about that. One of the things it means is that for maybe close to 6 months, we can sort of forget that cancer happened. But we did have today, we heard from a friend, much, much younger than us. We heard from a friend that she now is kind of going through the same process that Anita did when we found out. So Anita, when it found out in January of 2000, it was December 2022. She went in for a mammogram, and the mammogram didn't look right, and so they took her in for an ultrasound, and the ultrasound concerned them. And so after that ultrasound, then they did a biopsy, and then the biopsy led to a surgery, and the surgery led to chemotherapy. And chemotherapy then led to radiation and all of the things that are going on. I see you saying, sorry, man. Well, listen, it is what it is, and we've done well. But it is something, it's a weight. It changes how you think. So now we've got this friend who started that process. She went in for the mammogram, then mammogram led to an ultrasound, and the ultrasound led for her today, having the biopsy. And, so we know all of that. the altars, we know all about what that's going to feel like. Don't worry about it, man. I understand. Most people that comment on these things are just kind of goofing around, and all that. Don't know people. You don't know me, and all that. And so that's good. Hi, Logan Mahoney. Hi there. Anyway, and but one of the things that's happened, sitting in these parking lots over these times, it's an amazing thing. First of all, the age. I always think about it's not just old people. I remember when my wife, we went to meet the surgeon to prepare for her surgery. Hi, John. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. When we heard from the surgeon, what he said is she said, it was a female surgeon, and she said, well, here, there's no fault. There's nothing you could have done about this. And she said this. She said, 100 years ago, you'd have had children in your teens, grandchildren in your 30s, and then you'd be dead by the time you're 60. And what she said is, the doctor said, you've just outlived your body. And she said, but don't worry about it. Between surgery and medication, we can keep you alive till you're in your 90s. And so we don't know if that's going to actually happen, but that was kind of what she said. So anyway, though, so you think older people, cancer, older people, but it's amazing how many younger people have to visit this cancer care centers, and there are here some younger people. It's not all women. There are men who come in. Today I watched a couple. I'm guessing they were our age, maybe slightly younger than Anita and I, but not much. And they looked a little bit like us. They reminded me of us. He looked kind of like a country type of a fella, and my Anita is not a country type lady. My wife is quite educated, sophisticated, and while we live in the country, she's got a lot of that. She's got a lot of the sophistication kind of things in her. But this lady and man came in, and I saw the fella kind of direct his wife over to the reception area. One of the receptionists that was open, I saw him direct her over there, and she walked ahead. I mean, you could see it. So she's obviously the one who's checking in. She's obviously the one who has cancer or is being at least tested for cancer, but she's energetic, and she's alive, she's energetic, lots of energy. Her husband kind of stands behind her. I do understand that feeling, because as the husband, with my wife being the one, I feel helpless. A lot of times I just feel helpless about all this kind of stuff. I'm there, I'm listening, I'm hurting, but I almost feel like it's not fair for me to think that I'm hurting when my wife is going through so very much. And it's her whose life is on the line at this time. And so you see these couples like that, but you see some young people. You see some of them that are farther along in the stage of this, so that their hair is all gone. You can always tell there's a difference between a man who's bald and baldness that's caused by chemotherapy, because the chemotherapy, you lose all hair everywhere. And so no eyebrows, no eyelashes. And without the eyebrows and eyelashes, eyes look hollow. And so you can see that. You can see that in them, where the eyes look so hollow. And then the other thing that you see some of them that are, again, like the lady today, very energetic, very alive, very upbeat. But you also see them where you can see the defeat, the discouragement, the depression, the fear that's in their in their heart and in their soul right then. You see that a lot of times at the chemotherapy, and I don't. This, because Anita's past that, I'm not positive where we're at today actually is where they do the chemotherapy. I'm not sure. But a lot of times where the chemotherapy is, so what would happen is I'd sit out there and I'd watch ambulances come and take people away. They didn't make it through even their chemotherapy. They got sick. I don't know that anyone died while having the chemotherapy infused in them. I don't know if that ever happened, but I know a lot of times they would get so sick they couldn't continue, and they would haul them off in an ambulance. Um, it's just one of those things. We live through what we live through. We face all these things like we do, and you just go on. And tomorrow, we both have physicals at home. So today we're doing the all of this testing stuff for the cancer. Then tomorrow, we're home, and my wife will have a physical first, and then I have one. It'll be the first actual MD that I've seen since 2007. I've gone to a naturopath since 2007, but because of Medicare and all that, I'm having to switch over to an MD. First one I've seen since 2007, and so I'm a little nervous about that. And so anyway, just reflections in the cancer parking lot. I need to go now. My wife is on her way back to the car. I can see her coming, and so I want to greet her. All right. Lord bless you. Have a good afternoon. The Lord bless you, keep you, make his face shine upon you, be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.